Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments, and this is episode 56. And who are you?
Emily.
Yes, so I'm filming on a Saturday afternoon as opposed to a Friday evening because I was late home from work. What are you doing? And so Emily wanted to be helper, didn't you?
No, I just wanted him to be in the video.
So this is my place. I'm Helen. I live in Leicester in the UK with my husband Simon and my two girls Catherine and Emily.
Unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately. I'd much rather live in Leicester with Simon and a house full of yarn.
As your children.
Instead of children, have 2 bedrooms full of yarn. So, yes, this is my place where I like to talk about yarn. I do knitting and crochet. I've got a little bit of cross stitch to show you. I've made a tiny bit of progress on my really big project, and so Happy New Year. Let's start with Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
So my last episode was just before Vlogmas. The reason I decided to do that was last year when I did Vlogmas, the episode, I think there were 1 or 2 episodes that I did, they kind of got a bit lost, and I don't know if that's why they didn't have as many views. So I thought, well, it's hard work trying to remember to film every day and get ready for Christmas. So I took December off from my podcast. But as those of you who watched my Vlogmas will know, I only really worked on the one project for most of December.
Yeah!
And what was that? Can you remember?
Advent Shawl.
So I will show you my progress on that, which is not a vast amount, to be honest. But yeah, so I have got 3 finished objects. Half finished object. Yep, that's 3. A half finished object. A new start. And some progress on a couple of whips. And a little bit of incoming. So, shall we start?
Yep.
Right, okay. So, let's start with the finished object that belongs to you. So, what is that?
It's the Wednesday Addams snood.
Yes. So, Catherine has watched Wednesday on Netflix, and she loved the snood that Enid gave to Wednesday.
Who's Enid?
Enid is Wednesday's friend at school.
Oh.
So Enid has a pink one and Wednesday has a black one. So I made Catherine's was first, and
Which was black?
Yes, so Catherine's is first. So both of these are knit with, they're not knit, they're crochet. They are made with a double knit weight yarn held double. So this one is a very, very old Aldi DK that I don't think any of them still had bull bands on for these. This was a really old one that's been in my stash for years and years and years and years.
And you've never used it.
And I've used it for a few little bits and pieces, but I still had a few balls left, and because I didn't have enough black left over, so I've used most of my black yarn on Catherine's, which I will put on in a minute to show you Catherine's. So Emily went up and had a look at my shelf, and that's the colour you picked, isn't it? Because you like pink. So
and there's different colours in it too.
There are, yes. So that might have been the post.
I'll go get it.
So it's not technically a snood because it is also a cowl. Like I said, I did not follow a pattern. Oh, it is just the post. Just leave it on the table. We'll have a look at it later, see whose it's for. So yeah, so it is. It's all I did. So I did a foundation treble stitch just until it was big enough to go twice around Catherine's head or Emily's head. And then I've just done row and row and rows and rows of trebles. I chose just doing trebles because it's black yarn. I didn't want to try doing a pattern. It's hard enough to see what I'm doing with black yarn in the first place. So I just wanted to keep it simple. And also Catherine was in a hurry for it. So there are a few patterns out there trying to replicate the snood that Wednesday wore, but I couldn't find anything that really fit what I had in my stash or anything else. So I just thought, well, I think I'm experienced enough in crochet to work out how to make a big long loop of crochet stitches. So that's all I did.
So much stitches going from up here all the way down there for Catherine.
Yes. And yours is, and like I said, I did the same with Emily's, just I didn't make it as wide. So let's hold them up together.
Just for my head.
So there's as comparison.
Mine only goes
so it's
here.
that's the width. So there's a good 5 or 6 rows more on Catherine's, and there's the comparison for the length. So Catherine's is pretty much adult sized. Emily's is baby sized. Well, not baby sized, little person sized. Because you little. Okay, so that's those 2 finished objects. Let's fold them up nice and neat. Put them to one side. Oh, thank you. She's being helpful, or trying to be. So this, oh gosh, I'm getting bingly bongs all over the place. This is a pair of mittens. So when did I show these off? I think I might have shown the first one off in Vlogmas. It's just a pair of mittens that I made. It was actually a pattern that had a little bit of colour work on it. It's a really old Simply Crochet pattern that I found on my Readly app that I have on my Kindle.
Which is technically a thing from the shop Curries.
That's where I bought my Kindle. So Curry's is just an electrical shop where you can buy computers and homewares and things.
And TVs.
TVs, yes. You like standing and looking at the TVs, don't you? Yeah. So these are for Catherine. They are massive on Catherine.
Massive means massive.
I mean, they're a little bit big on me, but she'll grow into them. She doesn't mind having that extra room. So, but yeah, no, these are made using yarn from Melissa of Melissa's Knit and Crochet Spot, and my armband's disappeared for that one as well. So this was, I'm wanting to say it's a Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn, but just leave that there. We'll show that when we get to incoming. So I can't remember the colour name. I do have the second ball somewhere upstairs. I say somewhere, it's in a box with all the other yarn that I've received from her. So yes, I really enjoyed making these. They were very, very quick to make. I think it was about an hour and a half per mitten. So that's those finished objects. Oh dear, I'm a little bit croaky. Let's have some of my juice. Oh dear, yes, I've got a little bit of a cold, so I am a little bit croaky, so I do apologise if I sound a bit husky. So my next thing that I have to show is my half-finished object. Emily,
Socks.
Can you be really helpful? And in that first box in Mummy's shelf,
Yeah.
you will find some sock blockers. Now on this shelf here, you can go in that side because there's a bag in the way this side, and you'll find a sock shaped, metal shape or a wood shape. That'll do. There we go. So this is my sock blocker that I got from. Oh, when did I buy this?
2022.
No, I didn't buy it in 2022. I bought it from Bakewell. It was Bakewell, but it wasn't the last time I went to Bakewell. So it might have been 2021 Bakewell. Let's slide this on. So this is for Simon, so it's not going to fit terribly well on this blocker because Simon's feet are longer than this. This just goes up to a size 7. I will get one for his size foot eventually. So here it is. So the yarn is, I have the yarn band for this in here. It's Pippin Yarns.
Pippin Yarns!
And it is a one-of-a-kind DK sock set. So so I've been doing I've got a mini full contrast cuff. There's the... So I have this much left of the mini so far. So this is the mini. And then, so this is the yarn.
Which is technically looking great right now.
It is, isn't it? And I love this. DK socks for Simon is definitely the way to go because...
But it might itch his feet.
No, it won't itch his feet because it's still made out of sock yarn. Because
Which
look how few markers there I have there. These indicate every 10 rows down the front of the foot. Now I appreciate obviously around the gusset there are going to be extra rows, but down the front of the foot I've only got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 rows before I started to decrease for the toe. And I haven't had him try them on yet, so it could be a little bit on the small side, but obviously they're stretchy. Yeah, so I've messed up a little bit with my ends in. I can see it. It's visible on the on the outside of the sock there. I didn't realise that when oh well. No one's going to notice that bit because Simon will be wearing them inside his trousers, underneath his trousers. So yeah, so I'm just loosely following the Crazy Sock Ladies 3DK vanilla sock pattern that's on Ravelry. I do have somewhere in my stash upstairs a skein of I can't remember the name of the colourway I bought. There's some DK from Attic Spin Dye that I've bought. So once I've made these, I've promised Emily a pair of socks next because she's feeling a bit left out because Daddy's got a pair, Catherine's got a pair, but she hasn't got a pair.
I do, but
but the old ones. Your feet have grown since Mummy finished you a pair of socks, hasn't they? So we need to make a pair that fits properly now. But yeah, so I've really enjoyed making these. So I have started the second sock. This is a DPN Cozy from Pickle Lily. I got this one from Bakewell, but she does have an Etsy shop, so I will link her below. Now I need to be extra careful that I don't take the wrong needle away. I am knitting these on 3.5mm Knit Pro Zings. I love the Zings for the DPNs. I'm currently massively in love with the Nova Cubics for my normal knitting, my circular knitting, because they're nice and pointy, as well as being just all round nice needles. So this is as far as I am on the second sock, and here's the marker that I'm using for my beginning of round. It's my Alice, and this came with one of my Alice in Wonderland subscriptions, which has finished now, so I need to start using that yarn.
And now there's Pete's Rabbit one.
Yes, we're still, it's not the Beatrix Potter ones, so, but Andy has added a new subscription. There it is, whimsical fantasy or something. It's fairies and stuff. I know the first colourway is going to be based on Cupid, because it's already up for sale. So do...
What's Cupid?
Cupid is a little angel.
Oh.
About love. He's a love angel. She's pulling her face right now. So that's that project. Okay, so now what else have I been working on? Let's put that away. Let's carry on with my knitted whips. Oh, thank you for putting that away. So let's show you my new start. Now, actually no, let's show you this long time whip first. So I have been following, oh gosh, Expression Fibre Arts. That's the one. She will be linked below. Who is a yarn dyer and designer from, I think she's American. So I won't be buying yarn because I don't want to get hit with those customs charges. But certainly her patterns are amazing. She's got some really lovely patterns, knitting and crochet. And last year she had a mystery knit along and a mystery crochet along. Now the crochet along has gone nowhere. I've completely fallen out of love with it. It will not be finished. I'll show you how far I've got on it. I've got this much done. That does
not look good.
I don't know. There was something I just didn't like the way that I don't like the way I've picked the colours. I don't like the way I've put them together. The pattern's lovely. The pattern's really nice, but I just didn't, and I wasn't enjoying it because I fluffed it up basically with as far as the colours are concerned. So I think I will be, if she has another mystery crochet along this year, then I'll certainly have a look at it and consider whether or not I have yarns that go together a little better and it's not quite so much of a mismatch. Or maybe I've tried to make it too matchy and it's just not working for me. So I've that's the washing machine finished. So I've just sort of, it's still in the bag. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It may end up being a blanket for one of Emily's teddies or dollies or something.
Or maybe again for one of my teddies or dollies.
Yeah, so that was called Hearthside, and this one was called, the knitted one was called Oh. Perseverance. Hearthside and Perseverance. So I've shown you Hearthside, or as far as it's going to get. Perseverance, I am on part... I know I'm behind on it. 10? I can't remember now. I can't remember what part I'm on. I have the instructions that I've written out upstairs. So I'm on the decreasing section now. So I've turned to the top corner. So it's downhill from here. So the rows are getting shorter. Every couple of rows is a decrease. So this I'm continuing to work on first thing in the morning. Although at the moment, until I finish part 1 of the new one, it's sort of taken a back seat. So here it is. This one, again with the colours, I'm not sure. So I really don't know. But I'm going to make more of an effort to match the colours to the ones that are in the CAL from my stash as much as possible. I don't want to have to buy yarn if I can get away with it. I do want to be able to start saving more money to spend at yarn shows than ordering stuff from online. That doesn't mean I'm not going to buy yarn, but I am on a yarn diet. I'm reducing the amount of yarn I'm buying, and I will be trying to use my stash as much as possible. I've got so much sock yarn stash. I need to find some projects for it. So knitting, crochet, I just want to use some of it up because they're such beautiful colours, such beautiful yarn. It's a crime for me to be keeping this yarn in plastic tubs in my bedroom with other things piled on top. I've got a whole tub full of 20-gram minis that need using up as well. So again, any suggestions would be great. All my 10-gram minis are going into my cozy memories blankets. But here we are. So yes, I think, am I on this section? I can't remember. I'm either here or here on this end. I can't remember. So I literally have got just sort of this much to do. So I'm really excited to see this finished finally, sewing the few ends that there are, and then I'll be able to concentrate properly on other projects as well, because, well, we'll see how the new Mystery Knit Along progresses. So this is the next one is called Aventurine. Oh gosh, I've just seen it as well. Oh no, Advertance. That was nothing like Aventurine. So for Advertance, I am trying to stick with the colours. So the colour for this one is it's not in. I have to find the email. No, it's gone. I've got rid of the email. But basically, there was an email, and you can see what the colour is that she's ordered, and it was a very moody blue. And I thought, oh, I have something that's a little bit like that. Now, this pattern is a shawl. It's going to be a shawl or a wrap, and it's made in sport weight yarn. In the UK, sport weight and worsted weight are quite difficult to come by. Well, I know a sport weight is somewhere in between a fingering weight and a DK weight. So I thought, I've got tons of fingering weight yarn. Let's use some of that stash. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I will, where needed, I will buy colours that are close to the colours that's needed for that section. That's why I'm saying I am going to work from my stash, but I want to stay as close, as true to the colours in the pattern as possible. So this is my West Yorkshire Spinners Signature Sparkle 4-ply, and it is 75% wool, 23% nylon and 2% polyester. There are 400 metres in a 100 gram ball. Now I am just over halfway through part 1, and it is this lovely moss stitch. You can't really see. It's a lovely moss stitch pattern. So which it can be a bit tedious when you're working on this many stitches. I think it's 160 something stitches, but I'm enjoying it. I'm using 3.5mm Nova. Where's my needle case has disappeared. It was in there. It must have fallen out. Must have fallen out of the bag at some point. I'll have to find it because my needles need to keep going back in. But I think these are definitely Knit Pros. I think they are the Novas, just the straight Novas with the round needle rather than the cubed needle. So I'm really liking how the colours are working up. It does look quite moody and blue. So part 2 is almost a straight cream. It almost looks undyed. But I have a number of fairly pale skeins with just a few splotches of colour. So I'm going to go through my stash. I'm going to see how much of this I use, because I might be able to get away with using some of my 20 gram minis on this blanket. The yarn does continue into part 2, so I don't know for how much it will be going. But I've got about 9 rows left to go for this part to get January's part finished. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one progresses, and because it's all about getting more comfortable with certain stitches. Until I started this podcast, most of my knitting consisted of stocking stitch or just plain garter stitch. I was never that adventurous with my knitting. I've always been more adventurous with my crochet than I have with my knitting. I need to work out how to fold this back up and put it in now, fit it in the bag. But yeah, so this one I'm continuing to use my scraps, and I'm looking forward to getting to a stage where I can say I don't really have lots and lots of scraps. This is all acrylic, various, I think they're all Aldi yarns actually. I think these are all Aldi acrylics that I've got from my scraps. Some of them are full balls. I'm just going to the end of the scrap now, and then I'm changing colour, so that's just how it's going to go with that one. But this one I am going to try and be more circumspect with my colours. I think I need to improve on my colour choosing. Sometimes it's spot on, and other times it's not quite so. What are you saying? Incoming? Not quite yet. I've got one more project to show. No, 2 more projects to show, and then it's incoming. So my next project I'll show will be another knit one. And this is getting all tangled up because it keeps getting knocked off the arm of the sofa where I keep it when I'm working on it. So I am back to my spinning my wheel for working on different projects. So this isn't going to be getting 100% of my attention like it was in December. It's this huge. This is my Advent shawl so far. I am still enjoying working on it, but I'm looking forward to it being finished. So the Advent I bought this year was from Rosies Moments, and I will be getting the Advent again next year. I've enjoyed the colours. I enjoyed that each colour had a little story attached to it, and I love the extras. There's some fantastic little extras in there. So this is definitely it's high up there for the chance for me rebuying, unless someone else does an Advent that catches my eye. We shall see though. We shall see. But I've really enjoyed this, and I'm dragging a needle on the floor, so that's what that noise is. So I'm using my 3.5 Nova Cubics. So the cubics, if you remember, are square needles, although it's really hard to show that on there, how the angularity. And I'm using some stitch markers that I got from Melissa in my last package that she sent me. These are from the Notions pouch that came with it, all the way over there. So I think they're Cotton Tail Farm. I shall put it along here. So anyway, right, so that's all of my knitting. I've just got one crochet project whip to show you. And then I'll go over some incoming. Right, okay, here it is. So this is the One Skein of Love Winter Wonderland by Anna Murray. It's a paid for pattern, and this is mosaic crochet. So I got the colourway from a blog that was done by somebody who was testing this pattern. I really love this colourway. So the yarn is Paint Box DK acrylic, and I just matched as closely to the Starcraft colours that the lady used for these. So that's that. Really good. Okay. So what have you got in your hand? Oh, have you done a little sign to show that we're talking about incoming now? Okay, show it off. It's too close to the camera and it needs to be in the box. There you go. There you are. That's Emily's attempt at spelling incoming, by the way. Right, so let's just pause the video, have a drink, and I'll grab my incoming. Oh, I was going to show my cross stitch.
Never mind.
I'll show that in a minute. Right, okay, so before I show my cross stitch whip, which I was meaning to show you, I thought I would share with you some bags. So a little while ago now, if I'm honest, probably sometime early December, late November, early December, I got an email from a company called Wiskf asking me if they could send me some bags to review on my channel. Now, Christmas, they arrived right before Christmas, and I did plan on doing just a video on their own of just showing my bags, the bags that they had sent, the lovely bags. However, as always, life gets in the way and I ran out of time, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it on my main podcast. So here I am. So they invited me to choose 2 bags to send to them, to send to me to review, and in return I honestly say what I think of the bags, and they've given me a discount code. So if you like the look of the bags, then head over to, I will link them below, and head over, use that discount code. It's only 5%, but the bags are really cheap anyway. So let's get on and show you the bags. The first bag I chose, I just couldn't resist it because it's so adorable, was this. Now it's a little bit creased up because obviously it's come all the way from, I'm not sure if it's China or Korea where it's come from, and it's been sat in my cupboard waiting to be shown off before it can get used. Look how cute that bag is.
Aww.
He's so adorable. Now, my girls love sloths. They think they're really, really cute.
Only Catherine.
Well, Catherine likes them more than you, yes, but you still like them. Now, this is, it's a cotton tote bag with nice sized handles. And it's fairly well stitched together. So here's the stitching on the inside. So it's not lined, it's plain on the inside. It is a print. So, but it's not one of those prints that feels really plasticky. Sometimes when I see bags like this, I tend to avoid like the plague because I expect them to feel really plasticky, but it doesn't. It does still feel that, have that nice cottony feel to it. So it's got the handles. So this one is a perfect size for I don't know, a small sweater or a shawl's worth of yarn there. And yeah, so that I've been going to start putting in my I've forgotten the name of the CAL, the mystery CAL for 2023 for Expression Fibre Arts, but that is such an adorable bag. Let's pop that there. And the other bag that I chose was a slightly larger bag. So this is a tote, and it's Hello Weekend. So we've got nice rolled handles. And a little bit of ribbon, which, let's be honest, as crafters, that's probably just going to get in the way and get taken off. And yes, I will be taking mine off. Again, it's well constructed. It's a nice big square, well, rectangular bottom.
That will technically get in the way of somebody if it stays on the floor.
It won't stay on the floor, it will go into my pile of whip bags. So it's quite large inside, and we've got this lovely little powder pack you can use for your stitch markers, darning needle, anything like that in there. And this would be perfect for a sweater or a small blanket sort of yarn. So that's a lovely couple of bags, really, isn't it? They do have a really wide range to choose from. They have just added on this kind of bag, but with a box bottom that zips closed. I can't remember how much these are to buy, but they're all £10 or less, basically. So I will put the discount code somewhere around me on the screen if you did want to take that up and go and order yourself a bag or two. So that's those 2 bags. Okay, so that's those. Now on to my other incoming. So my other incoming is all gifts. Christmas gifts. Santa was very, very nice to Mummy, wasn't he? Like, give me that. That was my secret Santa. So, I am a brownie leader, and Emily's a rainbow. She's going to be a brownie later on in the year, aren't you?
Boo! I hate brownies.
You'll love it when you are one. Anyway,
No, I don't.
Anyway, we had a Christmas get-together in November. So, I forgot, did I have this in time for my last video that I did? I can't remember.
She didn't. I remember.
Oh, see, those of you who watched my blooper reel, now you know where Simon gets such great content from. Never work with children or animals, that's what they tell you. So anyway, we all did a we all did a Secret Santa, and we pulled names out of a hat, and it was fun because we spending limit of £10. We sort of had a group message where I said, right, okay, for those of you who've got my name, these are the things I like, and go wild. So, I love this so much. My Secret Santa got me a Nuddy Knits book. It's just the funniest thing. I haven't made anything from here yet, but I certainly plan to. It's for those of you who are a little bit of a nervous disposition, look away. This is just so basically a designer came up with this town of Woollybush, and she's brought out a whole range of the books. Move your hand out the way. With it, so they tell a story of the town, and they talk about the people who work there and live there.
The high street.
And eventually you get to the knitting patterns. So the knitting patterns in this book are for Bernard and Barbara. There they are.
And the cat flew.
And they are anatomically correct. I don't think I'll go as far as showing you that part. But they were just, it's just absolute lovely.
Bummer.
It's just, I couldn't stop flicking through it for the whole evening. And it's just really, really funny. So it's
especially for me and Kevin.
It says, meet the locals of Woollybush, a cosy English village where everyone's in the nuddy and the innuendos come thick and fast. Rammed with woolly puns, privates and patterns from the world's first all-knitted, award-winning animation, Nuddy Knits. So there is a YouTube channel, which I will link below because it's hilarious, where the designer created animations using her designs, and she's obviously released the patterns on the back of that. There hasn't been anything new loaded on there for a good while now, but they are really funny. Really, really funny. And yeah, so I look forward to having a go at making Bernard and his wife, and we shall see how much fun I have making them, and maybe treat myself to some more of the books. When do you stop it? Yes, so then the other gift that I got, oh actually no, I need to show my Christmas Eve yarn off as well, don't I? I need to find that out. So Simon bought me some yarn, a big bag of Stylecraft Aran. Now, he wasn't just being a good husband buying me yarn, it was on my Christmas list in these specific colours and amounts, because this is the year I hope to feel brave enough to attempt colour work. So there is a West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas blanket. I'll just get it up. Here it is. That I really, really want to make. And I need to have a try at it. I don't know whether or not I should try something smaller first before I have a go at this. Something on this scale. But it's an Aran weight yarn, so it should knit up fairly quickly once I get the hang of it. What are you doing?
Nothing. You just move rabbit ears. Yeah, rabbit ears. And then they pop back down.
So he did get this from Wool Warehouse. I can tell from the ribbon in the bag. So yeah, so there's, hopefully I've got the colours right. So there was no way I was going to get Simon to spend the amount for the actual kit, because the actual kit is £100 and something. So that is bigger than our budget that we have for gifts for each other, because we just don't see the point of spending huge amounts of money on each other. And so I thought I'll try Stylecraft, because I like Stylecraft Special. I've used it before and it's budget friendly. So there you go. So there's that incoming. And then this one, I need to rewind it because not Simon, it's starting to come undone. So I'll need to wind it again. So Catherine chose this one. It's Attic Spin Dye, and this is the Spice Market. Now this is merino, yak and nylon fingering weight yarn. Now I've never knit with yak before or crocheted with yak. I found a pattern that I like. I found a single skein crocheted shawl which would look absolutely amazing in these colours. So that will be going on the hook as soon as I've had a finish on one of my crochet projects. And I can't wait to get that started and worked on. Just had a battery die on one of the lights, but there it is. This is going to be a slightly longer episode than normal. So Emily, do you want to grab what you chose for Mummy for her Christmas present? It's on there on the windowsill. Thank you.
From the one Mumpy.
No, Bakewell.
Yeah, Bakewell.
Not the full Monty. So Emily picked this out for me, apparently. Now,
like a real pot.
When I was at Bakewell, we were just getting to the car when Emily announced she needed to go to the toilet. And so Simon took her back in and took her to the toilet. And when he returned, he said to me, "I am very sorry for what Emily has chosen for your Christmas present." Well, okay. Oops. What's going on? So,
never does it to anybody. He only does it to Mummy.
So, yeah, so I opened this on Christmas Day, very unsure as to what it was going to be. And I was like, okay, it's a cactus. I have no idea where I'm going to put a crocheted cactus. But who knows, that promotion might finally come through and I'll get an office and then it can go on my desk in my office. So, because at the moment I don't have a desk of my own, but it's really well made. It's a lovely, lovely little thing. I couldn't tell you anything about which store it was from, which vendor, because Simon didn't keep any of that details. So there's that. Okay, so let's grab the other bits to show you.
Mummy's John is the worst. Goes it's gone.
Okay, right, I've just got time to show you my cross stitch. I think I've already put my Christmas Eve yarn away. So this is a pattern by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is based on artwork by Leslie Ann Ivory, and it is called Amulet and Emmeline. And I am on this section here of the pattern. So I'm well over halfway. Let's just take it out of the hoop so that I can show the full. So every at the end of each session I have of knitting and crochet, I break that up with a day of cross stitch. So it could be a day where I don't get any time to sit down and craft other than maybe 5-10 minutes, so I only get a few stitches in. Or it could be a day like tomorrow is a cross stitch day, so tomorrow being a Sunday, I'll probably get a good couple of hours of sewing in at some point over the course of the day. But here it is. Oh, so yeah, so this is, I'm working on it page by page. So this is the section that I'm working on now. And so yeah, so I'm just slowly getting there. Hopefully I'll get some decent time. What are you doing?
This just knocked over.
Right. Oh dear, thank goodness I'm almost done. So yes, there's my cross stitch progress for those of you who may be interested in seeing that. And that, I believe, is everything I have to show for now.
Yeah, now I can play a game that I've always wanted to play. Which is libraries.
Well, Mummy, now the sun's come out, Mummy might head into town to go and collect her bicycle because I missed it last night. So I am going to strangle my child. That's what I'm going to do.
No, she isn't. Me and Daddy are technically going to play libraries. He's after Daddy's put charge.
Yeah, so I shall see you all again in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, hopefully I'll be child free. I think Simon has enough for another blooper reel already, just from this one. So have fun crafting. Try not to buy too much yarn, but you know,
and try to stay away from so much yarn. Do not buy anything, which technically yarn. This is what you get, yarn.
On that note, goodbye.